In the lush jungles of Panama, a mystery unfolded that would captivate the world. Two young women, Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers, embarked on an adventure of a lifetime. But what began as a promising journey soon turned into a haunting enigma. This is the chilling case of the disappearance of Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers. In April 2014, Lisanne and Kris set out on a hike near the picturesque town of Boquete. Armed with cameras and a thirst for adventure, they documented their excursion, capturing moments of joy and laughter. Little did they know that their photographs would become the keys to unraveling the perplexing events that lay ahead. Amongst the cheerful snapshots, a dark secret emerged. Hidden within the camera's memory, eerie images surfaced, raising more questions than answers. Mysterious photographs, cryptic clues, and distressing phone calls formed a web of intrigue, shrouding the fate of these two young women in uncertainty. As search teams scoured the treacherous terrain, hope clashed with fear. The discovery of clothing, bones, and a phone provided grim evidence that their journey had taken a sinister turn. The pieces of this puzzling puzzle began to converge, but the truth remained elusive. Theories abound, from tragic accidents to foul play. Some believe they fell victim to the unforgiving elements, while others suspect a malevolent force lurking in the shadows. As the investigation unfolded, it revealed a tapestry of mysteries, leaving investigators and the world at large yearning for answers. Join us as we delve deep into the heart of this perplexing case, exploring the evidence, examining the theories, and unraveling the enigma that surrounds the disappearance of Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers. Their story is one of intrigue, tragedy, and unanswered questions. This is a journey into the unknown. Welcome to Vanishing Trails, the mysterious disappearance of Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers. Lisanne Froon, a 22-year-old graduate in applied science from Amersfoort, the Netherlands, completed her university studies in September 2013. She had a close friend, Kris Kremers, who was 21 years old. The two friends had a desire to commemorate their graduation by embarking on an extensive journey to the Americas. In preparation for their adventure, the young women diligently saved money over the following months until they had enough to purchase plane tickets for a flight to Panama in Central America. On March 15, 2014, they boarded their flight and arrived in Panama. Upon reaching Panama, Lisanne and Kris began their backpacking mission, which included hiking in the Panamanian jungle for 2 weeks. Towards the end of their trip, they traveled to Boquete, where they stayed with a host family for 4 weeks to engage in volunteer work. Due to a delayed start to their volunteer activities, Lisanne and Kris decided to utilize their extra free time to explore the beautiful natural surroundings of Boquete. This small mountain town is renowned for its moderate climate and lush, verdant landscapes. On April 1, Lisanne and Kris embarked on a hike with the host family's dog, named Blue, along the Pianista trail. Through scenic forests around the Baru volcano. However, after they waved goodbye to their family at 11 a.m. on April 1, they were never seen again. The trailhead of Pianista is conveniently accessible, and the hike itself is considered a moderately challenging route spanning approximately 4.9 miles. It typically takes around 3 hours and 30 minutes to reach the summit. Hikers should be aware that the path can become muddy, particularly near the summit, and encounters with aggressive dogs have been reported. Visitors are strongly advised against hiking alone or without an experienced guide. It is crucial to carry an ample supply of food and water and to dress appropriately, as sudden rainstorms can occur. Unfortunately, it seems that Lisanne and Kris did not adequately consider these risks. They chose to hike without companions or a knowledgeable guide, and they were ill-prepared in terms of food and water supplies. At around 11 a.m., they got picked up by a taxi which took them to the trailhead, along with Blue. During the evening of April 1, the host family became alarmed by an unsettling discovery. Although their dog returned unharmed, the girls were nowhere to be found. Concerned, the host family conducted a search in the vicinity of their residence but chose to postpone contacting the authorities until the following morning. When Kremers and Froon failed to show up for their scheduled private walking tour of Bouquet on April 2, causing the host family to notify the authorities. The following day, local residents conducted an aerial search of the forest and a ground search of the village and surrounding lightly wooded areas. After 3 days of their disappearance being reported, the families, accompanied by Dutch detectives, traveled to Panama. Together with local law enforcement and canine units, they conducted a thorough search of the forests for a period of 10 days. The case took on an even more mysterious turn when a crucial piece of evidence surfaced after 10 weeks had passed. A woman from a secluded community called Alta Romero, located approximately 10 miles from Bouquet, came forward with a blue backpack she had discovered in a rice paddy near the Caldera River. The presence of the backpack in such an isolated community, which isn't even featured on online maps, raised questions about how it ended up there. The woman stated that the backpack couldn't have been there previously, as heavy rain had recently occurred. However, the backpack remained in excellent condition and was completely dry, adding to the intrigue surrounding its appearance. Upon examination, it was determined that the backpack belonged to the missing friends. Its contents included 2 pairs of sunglasses, $87 in cash, 2 bras, a water bottle, Lisanne's passport, and a camera. The phones and camera proved to be the most intriguing items, generating numerous questions for both the police and the families involved. Investigators discovered a total of 133 images captured by the young women on their hike using a Canon PowerShot SX270 camera. Among these images, a minority consisted of typical daytime photos and selfies, while 90 pictures stood out due to their eerie and enigmatic nature. The pictures depicting their joyful excursion were taken on April 1. However, the remaining images were captured during the late hours of the night, between 1:29 a.m. and 4:10 a.m. on April 8. According to Mirror, some of the photos exhibited darkness, while others seemed to show the friends' belongings scattered near a rock, accompanied by candy wrappers and a plastic bag. Additionally, the images displayed mounds of dirt and a mirror. Several photos appeared to focus on Kris' head, with some observers suggesting the presence of an injury on her temple. The identity of the photographer remains unknown, leaving open the possibility that it could have been one of the 2 friends or someone else entirely. Equally perplexing is the purpose behind capturing these photos. Amidst the camera's collection, one of the most intriguing mysteries revolves around the absence of photo 509. Positioned between the daytime and nighttime pictures, this particular image has been permanently deleted, rendering any attempts at retrieval futile. Given its placement within the sequence, the missing photo holds significant potential for providing crucial answers. In addition to the mysterious photographs, there are also intriguing details concerning the phone calls. The initial contact made by Lisanne and Kris with emergency services occurred at 4:39 p.m. on April 1. Subsequently, they attempted to reach out to authorities on 77 occasions during the following days. However, due to poor reception, it proved nearly impossible, except for a brief 2-second call that successfully connected. They also dialed 112, which is the emergency number for the Netherlands, instead of Panama. On April 6, Lisanne's Samsung phone powered off for the final time. In contrast, Kris' iPhone was turned on and off intermittently over the subsequent days, likely in an effort to conserve battery life and establish a connection to communicate with the police. However, between April 7 and April 10, numerous unsuccessful attempts were made to access the iPhone. Curiously, the individual entering the wrong PIN repeatedly, which seems peculiar if it was Kris attempting to gain access since it was her phone. Ultimately, the iPhone's battery drained completely on April 11, marking the last trace of activity from either of the young women. During the search in the vicinity where the backpack was found by the rice farmer, the police uncovered additional evidence pertaining to the disappearance of the young women. Kris' garments were discovered near the river. Contrary to popular belief, the clothes were not neatly folded as previously thought. Recent information reveals that they were found in a disorganized state. Over 2 months after their disappearance, the initial remains were located. A human foot enclosed within a shoe and a pelvic bone were found in the same area as the other evidence. In August, more bones were unearthed, although they were incomplete. Through DNA analysis, the bones were identified as potentially belonging to Lisanne and Kris. The shoe containing the bones was determined to be Lisanne's left foot. Forensic examination indicated no signs of cutting, teeth or claw marks, and there was no remaining blood. Some skin and tissue were preserved. However, the separate discovery of the foot does not necessarily imply foul play. Disarticulation and weathering could account for its displacement. Unusual aspects surround the recovered remains. It appears that the bodies underwent varying stages of decomposition. Kris' bones were bleached, presenting a mystery that could potentially be attributed to prolonged exposure to sunlight. On August 29, a patch of skin from Lisanne's shin was found. According to a forensic pathologist, the skin exhibited early stages of decomposition and signs of insect activity, suggesting possible alterations. The cause of death and the specific circumstances surrounding their demise could not be determined. The Panamanian government officially attributed the deaths to an accident. However, numerous alternative theories challenge this official explanation. The government's belief is that the young women were swept away by the river while attempting to cross it using a monkey bridge. Yet, this theory raises questions. The desperate attempts to contact emergency services indicate their need for help. If Kris' photographed injury is authentic, it suggests that Lisanne may have ventured out in search of assistance. This could explain the repeated failed attempts to unlock Kris' phone. Limited resources could have easily placed the friends in a perilous situation. Their fear might have been heightened by the magnitude 6 earthquake that occurred in the area on April 2. The question remains, what happened to them between April 1 and April 8? How did they manage to survive for an extended period with scarce supplies? Here are some theories. Some assert that Lisanne and Kris fell victim to foul play, drawing conclusions from perceived clues in the photos. One photo, depicting a steep cliff, has sparked allegations of a shadowy figure. The sudden appearance of the backpack, untouched by weathering or damage after weeks, adds to the intrigue. Additionally, the lack of goodbye messages makes it seem like the girls were not the ones using the phone. When people know that they are in a bad situation and that they will die, they would leave behind goodbye messages to loved ones. This is done to let their loved ones know that they love them and to explain how they got themselves into the life-threatening situation. They can write something down. And in this case, the girls could have made a goodbye video with their camera or cell phone. At the very least, they would have taken a goodbye picture of themselves on their camera or cell phone. The only reason the girls didn't leave any goodbye messages is that they weren't able to. However, given that they can take 90 photos on the 7th days after they disappeared, on April 8, it shows that they easily could have left a goodbye message. This theory also accounts for claims that the Panamanian government inadequately investigated their disappearance, potentially motivated by the desire to protect the country's tourism-dependent economy. A Redditor on the dedicated subreddit for the Friends case has proposed a theory that suggests they initially became lost but subsequently encountered foul play during their struggle for survival. This theory combines elements from the two aforementioned explanations. Given the extended duration of their survival, they may have ventured too far and stumbled upon a violent encounter. The nature of their demise as the cause of death remains undetermined. Questions persist regarding the actual circumstances of their deaths. A prevalent theory posits that one or both of them fell from a steep cliff. The terrain beyond the El Pianista trail can become hazardous, with numerous slopes and rocks. In this case, they might have hitting their heads, became confused and were unable to think clear. The case of Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers continues to baffle investigators and ignite the imaginations of those seeking answers. From the eerie photographs to the distressing phone calls, the pieces of this perplexing puzzle have left us with more questions than answers. As theories of foul play and accidents intertwine, the truth remains elusive. Join us as we venture into the heart of this enigma, examining the evidence, exploring the theories, and seeking the truth behind the disappearance of Lisanne Froon and Kris Kremers. Their story is one of intrigue, tragedy, and unresolved mysteries.